we have to be rather quiet, 'cause I am babysitting right now. And it's late, so this will help me stay awake. So, everything went well. We had a nice sit-down conversation with the doctor. I found out that you lose 6 eggs a day, which I had no idea. Kind of worked out. We won't be doing hormone injections. It's not something that I really need to do. We might go ahead with the pill that's like a much lesser dosage. Let's see. We that's my mom. But there are a couple like tests that we have to do, and some of them I'm like, oh, that sounds awful. The one that I really am not looking forward to is like a womb viability test, and I have no idea what they do to assess the viability of your womb, but they need to make sure that you are capable of, being pregnant more or less, carrying a fetus to term. I'm like, ugh. And we're back. So, yeah, so there's that test. There's also lots of blood work that I have to get done because I was on my period this week. We were able to do one of the blood tests, which you have to do like within a certain time period after your period starts. I was able to do that today, so that's good. And the rest of the stuff I don't have to have it during a specific time period so much as I just need to get it done. So I have all these post-it notes of stuff. So I've got another blood test on Tuesday, and I have to fast for that one, and my blood test is until 1:30, so that's not going to be a happy day. I have to go to Dallas for that one. And then Wednesday, I have another sonogram, and that's at 2:30. And I think that one's just to make sure that I don't have fibroids or whatever. We did a sonogram today, and I would have thought that you could see that kind of stuff on that one, but that sonogram was specifically to count the eggs in my ovaries and just check out the lining of my uterus, I guess. And they want you to have like at least a total of 8 eggs, like 4 per ovary. And if you are producing less than that, then they're going to want to give you extra medication because that's not a very good number. So that they wanted about 8. I had over 20, so always thought perfectly fertile. Apparently yes. And so it had to be one of the vaginal wand sonograms. So he's in there looking around, and I'm just like, oh yeah, this is unpleasant. And he's counting the number of eggs, and mom's like, how can you tell? What are you doing? And so he is just after he gets the information he needs, Juan's still up there, and he's just moving around slowly so that she can see how he can count them. And I'm just like, Mom, seriously, we could have been done by now. But you wanted to learn how to count eggs. And so I have to sit here with the stick still in here because he's trying to, look at my ovaries. I'm getting it like shoved up in the corners. I'm just like, oh man. So that wasn't fun. But eggs look a lot like the tapioca balls in a bubble tea. There's these little black balls and they're huge. Mom was actually really surprised at how big they are. I'm like, well, I know the largest cell, but I didn't think in a sonogram they'd look quite like tapioca pearls. And it really made me want a bubble tea. So yeah, that was what we did today. Talked about who I need to get with financing. Just general stuff. That's so much testing and appointments and everything that I'm gonna have to do. But we will probably be able to move forward with insemination at my or after my next cycle. So end of June, I'll probably go in for insemination. So that's cool. I mean, because of when this initial consultation was, we're able to just get everything done in time for that time period, and that's what I kind of wanted to do anyway. I wanted to have a baby in April or March, and if I do manage to get pregnant with this first set, then that would be an April March baby. So that would be good. I have to buy 2 vials of sperm. Because there's a concern that maybe you get the 1 vial, something goes wrong in the thawing process, and now all that prep work ahead of time is for nothing because you only had the 1 vial. So they want me to buy 2 for just to make sure that if anything goes wrong, there's still a spare there. And that's going to cost about $1,700. So that's not great. And I'm hoping that the blood work I had done today, which came out to be like $528 or whatever, I'm hoping that my insurance will pay for some of that at least. I have a $500 deductible, so that might have come out completely out of my pocket today, and I know they won't cover a lot of the other stuff coming up. So, it's so fucking expensive. But oh well. So next week I have, Monday's a holiday, and then it's blood work Tuesday, sonogram Wednesday, and I don't know, I guess I'll have to come back once they have all the results and stuff in, and then we'll have to figure out if based on that kind of stuff, what we're going to do next, if I am going to be on the and I don't remember what the pill is called, but there's the hormone injections and then there's the pill. And with the pill and just a healthy reproductive system, he said my odds should be the same as just nature. And I was like, okay, great. Hopefully I don't get multiples. Fingers crossed. But it's not as drastic as the hormone injections. But I mean, they wanted 8 and I had 20 eggs, so there's not really a need to increase it by that much. So yeah, that went well. And the people there were extremely nice. The doctor was very patient, answered every question my mom had. As was obvious in the fact that he just kept a little wand in there so she could, learn how to count eggs. And then she did count them before they hatched because she was like, oh, look, it's my little grandbabies. I can see them. And I'm like, no, remember? He said you, lose 6 eggs a day. So, no, by the time we actually go through this process, all of these eggs will probably have gone away and new ones will have replaced them. Yeah. So, I'm not looking forward to all these tests, but at least it's not going to take long. If we weren't going to actually, get to the point where there's any potential payoff for, another, 2 months, I'd have been like, oh my gosh. It'd be nice because the payments would be spread out. And I'm going to be making a lot of big purchases in a very short amount of time, which, hooray. But, yeah, so next week is going to be fun, and I'm already trying to figure out, since I will be taking quite a few half days to go to the doctor to get these things done, trying to figure out a way to not tell work what I'm doing, but at the same time not make them worry about me needing to go to so many doctor's appointments, because I don't want them to think that I am just taking a lot of time off for no reason. I do want them to know, no, this is a medical thing. I am going to a doctor when I'm saying I'm using my sick time. But because the frequency of me going, especially in that month block, will be quite high. Probably at least once a week, if not multiple, for the next month. And as long as it's like at the Grapevine Center, which is where I was today, that wouldn't be a problem. But next week, just because the doctor that I'm seeing at Grapevine will be on vacation, and just because of the nature of some of the tests, I've got to be in either Dallas or in Irving, which isn't far, but it's like if I have to have a sonogram in Dallas at 2:30, getting back and getting in any time, meaningful time at work, which I clock out at 5 for, is ridiculous. It's not going to happen. So that's just, I'm not going to come back for that. And then the thing in Irving at 1, I might be able to come back and work after that one. But at the same time, it's like, I'll have fasted, I'll probably have a headache. Do I want, we'll see. But yeah, so I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to tell work. Because, yeah, it's weird enough, I guess, having so many people, because my mom told everybody about what's going on, and I'm okay with everyone knowing, but at the same time, like, I don't know. It seems so premature to tell so many people, and so I really don't want to tell work I'm trying to get pregnant, because then there's just a lot of people in my business, and I'd rather tell them I am pregnant, and then just explain whatever questions they might have. And I doubt they would, but if they did, I'd rather address them after the fact, not before the fact, because if it doesn't work and I have to give up based on, just the financial burden of it, then I'd rather, I don't have to deal with it with my family. I really don't have to deal with it at work either, as well. But yeah, everyone's just, they're interested in, the whole process, and I totally get that. That's the whole reason I'm making these videos and why I have a Tumblr dedicated to this, because it's something that, people do, but it's not something that I have heard of a lot of people talk about. Like, apparently the doctor that I'm using, what's his name? Anil Pinto. So this gentleman, did I drop it? So this gentleman right here. Apparently there is like a single mother group that recommends him, and so since I was a single woman, he was very curious as to whether or not I'd been referred to him through them. I was like, no, I just Googled you and I found you, and I really appreciated the fact that your practice mentioned, single women and people that are, LGBT, and that it wasn't just geared towards couples, but it did make mention of other reasons why somebody might be looking for the service. And apparently he's a preferred physician for groups of people who are like me. So I was like, okay, awesome. I had a good feeling about you, and the fact that there are, organizations that would be like, totally go see this guy. I'm like, great, I think I made a good choice. And just the atmosphere there, everything about it, I was just like, I felt good about it. So I was like, okay, if I'm not having any second doubts, only thing I was second doubting was why they gave me a sheet to put over my hips when it was time for the sonogram. It was like, well, I know what that looks like, and you're looking at it. What is this sheet for? Who are we hiding it from? There's no one else in here except for my mother, but she's over there. You're right here. So I was kind of like, I don't understand what the sheet's for. And my mom kept saying, it's for modesty. I'm like, whose modesty? I mean, he's looking right at it. I don't understand why I have to have a sheet over me. That makes no sense. But apparently it makes people feel better to feel like they're covered. I don't know. I have no problem with nudity, so. Oh, one of the things he did talk about was the fact that I should probably seek some kind of counseling at some point. And at first he was talking about how it'd be good to have preliminary counseling, because people might say things that might hurt my feelings about, the getting pregnant via artificial insemination. And in my head I'm thinking, I could care less what anyone thinks. And luckily my mom at the same time was also thinking, oh, the baby's crying. I'm gonna let her self-soothe. She should be fine, but I'll check on her in just a minute if she doesn't soothe. But what was I saying? That's little Riley. Now I remember what I was saying. Um, but and then I forgot it again. She's still crying. Aww. She's a sweetheart. They're both sweet. What was I saying? Oh, my mom was thinking the same thing. Like, Nico could care less what anyone thinks. I'm like, okay, good. It's not just me being hubris. People who deal with me on a daily basis know I could care less. But one thing he did mention, which I hadn't thought about, was how to explain to the kid at some point, why they don't have a father in their life. Kind of explain to them what the process means as far as their identity. And I was like, okay, yeah, absolutely. That is something I think would be a really good idea, to have some kind of a guidance on how to best approach that kind of thing. Not something I need to deal with immediately, obviously. Something I can deal with when it's, a kid is not a possibility, but an actuality. But I did like that he he's been in practice for a long time, so he was thinking ahead to not only my physical ability to have children, but then mental preparation and mental health. And I was like, okay, this is very good all around service from these people. So very, very pleased with that choice. But yeah, so everything went pretty well. Oh no, go away. I think she's soothed. She's not loud. You probably can't even hear her. I think she's probably okay. But yeah, so that everything went well, and things are going to be moving fast. I'm shopping for my sperm donor right now, and that to be able to get a lot of pictures and stuff, so that I could really get an idea of what somebody looked like, because you could have one picture for free, or three pictures if you paid $125. And I also can this one guy plays the guitar and sings, and I can listen to him play the guitar and sing. He's such a cutie. I'm thinking I'm going to pick that one. But it is a very interesting experience to be just sitting around looking at pictures of young kids and being like, that one works, and then kind of reading up on them and looking at their likes and dislikes and trying to figure out if that's this one's really outdoorsy. Well, I'm not really outdoorsy, so is it going to be a hassle if genetically they end up inclined to doing a lot of sportsy stuff? And actually, I am pretty outdoorsy. I wish I was able to go out more. It's just being allergic to the sun, which sucks. But yeah, so I'm just tonight I'm shopping for sperm, because I want to make sure if I'm going to be inseminated at the end of next month, that it's here in Texas at the clinic, ready for me when I'm ready. So that's my homework, more or less, and I'll be working on that tomorrow too. And then having to put in my sick requests and figure out, like I said, some way to explain that yes, I am going to a doctor's office. If you want me to bring you a sick note, I can totally bring you a note from the doctor's office, and at the same time just not worry them, but not explain myself either. So we'll see. So yeah, that was my day, and I'm gonna go quickly now do a little write up for my Tumblr, since I'm sure I'll think of things I didn't think of here as I'm typing that up. I generally work better in written medium than in off the cuff. Obviously, I lose track of my thought process pretty easily, especially at 10 o'clock at night when I'm not even at home. So, all right, well, I will keep you updated. Bye.